Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here with my first video for Supergirl Season 5 in regards to episode reviews, and this is because it's my Episode 1 review, the premiere for Season 5, otherwise entitled Event Horizon. So of course, if you haven't watched the episode, spoiler alert, because we're going to be talking about the major things from this episode, so go watch it if you haven't, then come back to this video later on. But of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, why not drop a like on the video to show support. Let me know all of your various opinions in the comment section down below on this episode. What did you like? What didn't you like? What various theories do you have going ahead with this season? And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. So just quickly, something Supergirl not related in regards to it being Supergirl, but still related because it's Arrowverse stuff. Batwoman also premiered tonight. They had their first episode. I'm not doing a review on it because I already did a review on it after I saw the episode at Comic-Con, and it was the exact same episode apart from one little voiceover thing. I will leave that review linked in the description down below if you want to go check it out, and my thoughts on the Batwoman premiere, but we'll see if I come back to that show next week. But yeah, so in regards to the end of last season of Supergirl, we saw like various things happen right at the end, like the Monitor bringing in John's brother, Malefic or Malefayek or something like that. I'm going to just call him Malefic from now because that's just the easier pronunciation to go with. We saw the Monitor take Lex Luthor, obviously. And then, of course, we had Leviathan introduced, which will be a major play this season. And I guess one of the bigger things was Lena Luthor finding out that Kara was actually Supergirl, which has been a thing that people are wondering, will she ever find out about it? And, well, she did. And that plays a big part in this first episode and, you know, stuff in the future for this season as well. But in regards to the start of this episode, I guess it was cool to see Twisted Sister kick it all off. We're not going to take it. That's one way to start off a season, I guess. But this whole first thing we saw, like Supergirl saving the bus, Lena randomly confronting her and like punching her. So like, okay, this is developing like superpowers and stuff like that. But it's actually all just a VR, like virtual reality thing for Lena with these like little contact lens sort of things, which is a good lead-in due to technology being such a big thing this season, which they really do play out because we see it carry on into the coffee shop scene and some other things as well, just people lost into their tech and all of that. But yeah, we really do get a carry on from like Lena's anger from the end of last season with Kara. In regards to that technology and stuff, it's formed by Obsidian Tech, which is a new thing, and Kelly Olsen works for them now. Now, this tech allows people to basically interact with, I guess, the environment around them without things being there, as well as other people through connected social media and other things like that, without actually speaking to them or anyone else. So I'm sure we'll see more of it. It's very weird, but also relevant at the same time. I know some people don't like Supergirl being so relevant and with like current day topics and issues and stuff. I think this is actually a decent one to go with. It's more like when they go political and stuff that it can be a bit, can you not do that? But this is an interesting take. Hopefully it doesn't get, it could, because even though technology is interesting, it could also get boring if it's not handled correctly. So hopefully they go down a more interesting route. I'm not sold on the technology thing at this point. I want to see more of it before I make a final decision, but it just seems that this is a way, I wouldn't say that they're doing this specifically, but I'm not surprised that Kelly Olsen works for this tech company, because when I went to this season, and even last season, I was like, how are they going to make this Kelly Olsen character not only relevant, but somewhat interesting? Because I didn't really see the point of the character coming in at first, outside of, I guess, now being Alex Danvers' partner. But I guess they're going to make her work for this company and she'll get into some shenanigans through those means, but I'll have to wait and see. But speaking of companies, we have the new Catco owner and editor-in-chief, who is I think the owner of Obsidian Tech. I don't know if I missed that in the episode. That being Andrea Rojas. So she's owned it and she's like, I'm going to run the newspaper now. So sucked in. So obviously James loses his head position, and yeah, but this is like Lena pretty much slowly getting to Kara, because Lena sold it. She owned Catco, so she willingly sold the company to Andrea Rojas. I think it was said that Andrea actually paid much more than Catco was worth, especially due to the responsiveness to that company over the past couple of years. But Lena acts all innocent and stuff, and she knows exactly what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing. Now, one of the coolest scenes in the episode, which it was pretty brief, to be completely honest, but it was advertised a lot. I think they even uploaded the entire scene to YouTube before the episode even aired, and that was Supergirl versus the dinosaur, the T-Rex specifically. Now, it was weird because there was an excursion into this museum where it had it was like a Krypton exhibition, and this little girl's there, and she just randomly turns into the dinosaur. And I was like, okay, what's going on here? And then I just remembered, oh, it's a shapeshifter. It's Jean's brother Malefic. Now, they don't reveal that completely until the end, but I think if anyone was paying attention, you knew exactly who the little girl was, that it was John's brother in disguise. Now, this dinosaur scene was fairly cool. It was very brief, as I said before, but it would have been expensive to do. But it actually results in Supergirl getting her cape destroyed, which obviously leads on to some new stuff being introduced later on in the episode. Now, Malefic as this little girl, I did see people complaining on social media and stuff that it was a bit weird that it was a little girl, but I think you're a little girl because you don't stand out too much, especially if you're just chilling. It's pretty easy to get places. It was a bit when he was doing. It was a bit weird. Sorry, when he was doing fixing the tech as a little girl. I was like, okay, but I guess small hands might be easier. I don't know. But anyway, we see him breach in the character of Midnight from the Phantom Zone. Now, Midnight was put in there by J'onn J'onzz himself, so it makes sense why Malefic would release her specifically. So, it gets to J'onn and there's a bit of a tension between them two. Now, Midnight fought alongside the White Martians against J'onn and his people, so obviously Midnight's not happy with J'onn because it's like, oh, you locked me up in the Phantom Zone, and John's like, hey, you tried to kill my race, so we got a bit of an issue with each other. I think it's pretty even. I don't know which one's worse. You decide. Now, back in regards to the Catco stuff, the employees of Catco were forced to comply with these new, revenue-driven, to comply to this new, journalism, I guess, standards that the new owner, Andrea Rojas, wants, where it's, revenue-driven, so, catering your journalism and all the news and stuff to basically drive revenue rather than what they were doing before, where they were losing subscribers and just weren't making money, which basically, as I said, lowered the cost of Catco, and Andrea Rojas paid much more than it was actually worth. Now, once again, this could lead to some political stuff in the future. I don't know I'm interested to see how much they focus on this going forward. I think they might focus a decent amount, but it might just be for the first half. I don't know if I'd really be expecting this in the second half compared to previous seasons of Supergirl. When something's introduced around here, we're probably still going to be seeing it around episode 18 or 19 and stuff like that. So this might just be a first half thing that's just, on the side that we have to deal with. Now, Kara actually reveals that she is Supergirl to Lena, which I wasn't expecting. It was a very good scene as well. I thought Melissa Benoist was actually really good in the scene, and so was Katie McGrath, who plays Lena. I think that's the actress's name. And it's pretty interesting because Lena actually has the choice to give out the info from about Kara being Supergirl to Andrea Rojas. We saw that earlier in the episode, that Lena had this big bombshell of information that she was going to give to Andrea. It was sort of part of their deal for her to buy it out and stuff like that. But Lena chooses not to, and I was like, okay, what's going on here? This is pretty interesting. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I was thinking, this seems like it's wrapping up too quickly. Lena just forgiving Supergirl and forgiving Kara. Just no, this can't be true. Something else is going on here. But of course, as we see towards the end of the episode, Lena's YOLO, back onto Supergirl, and time to make her suffer, if that's the best word to use. So I'm interested to see where Lena goes in this season against Kara, because that whole scene just felt a bit odd to me when she just forgave her, but I knew something was coming in the end, and the end of the episode really did solidify that something definitely is still going on. Now, Kara does get a new supersuit. As I said, her cape was destroyed. Now, it's through a little device which goes on her glasses, I think, which I thought was weird. I thought maybe it might go, even if it went on one of her teeth, or I know, weird. Why would you put it on your teeth? But I thought, her glasses aren't actually connected to her. I don't know, maybe it's just me being weird. But essentially, the suit materializes on her. I guess the best comparison is the Iron Man armor that we saw, I think, introduced in Infinity War. A lot of people use that as a comparison. I think it's a fair comparison. And it will be interesting to see how many times we see this whole transition thing, it actually materialize on her throughout the season, because I'm not expecting it that much, because I think it'd be a hard thing to film. Because I think it's going to be similar to a Flash ring type situation that we saw in Flash last season, where I think we only saw it 2 or 3 times, and I think one of those times was a reverse Flash one as well. So not that frequent. That's the best way to put it. Now, we do get to see the group take on Midnight, and they put it along to Supermassive Black Hole by the band Muse, it's a great song. So, Twisted Sister early in the episode, Supermassive Black Hole by Muse at the end. Good song choices. Now, we do see John sucked into the black hole. Midnight's dealt with, taken back to the Phantom Zone, and Supergirl rescues him. It's resolved pretty quickly. But I guess how interesting could a rescue mission into a black hole be if he doesn't actually go anywhere outside the black hole? So I understand they just get through it quickly. No point wasting time there. Now, we do see James Olsen quit Catco. Not too surprising. Now, the actor is leaving the show. He's actually in the new Mortal Kombat movie, which I think is filming right now in Australia. So I'm going to assume he's probably going to leave the show by episode 3 or something. I don't know if they've actually revealed what episode he leaves, but he's leaving. So I know what they're going to do for the next couple of episodes to set him up. It's all set his departure up. So yeah, this is like step 1 in that process, I guess. Now we do see Malefic finally confront his brother Jean in his like office sort of thing. Now there is like a weird reaction between the two when they connect, because Malefic's got like the green eyes, Jean's got the red, and they can collide. There's like a reaction. I don't understand that completely. If anyone wants to let me know, I'm just a bit confused by it. But at least Jean knows now. Jean knows what's going on, and the next episode's completely about that. I think the title might even be like sibling rivalry or something like that. Next episode, I'm not too sure. But yeah, so next episode will be about them two and diving deeper into that backstory and what's to come as well. But the final shot of the episode was actually Eve Tessmacher being kidnapped. Now, obviously, at the end of last season, we saw Leviathan confront her as she was trying to escape town. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Obviously, I think it's easy to assume that she's been kidnapped by Leviathan. But I wonder what her role is going to be this season, because I don't necessarily know where they could go with her this season, but I'm guessing she's just going to be like an entry point into Leviathan. That might be what's going on. But overall, this episode of Supergirl, I thought it was a solid premiere. I think better than last season's one. It wasn't like a 10 out of 10. Like, don't get me wrong, but I think it had some promising bits. It definitely set up a lot to come from this season, or for this season, as well as continuing on from points last season. Like, dealing with the Lena stuff and also the Malefic stuff was great, because you just finished season 4 off with that, so why not do that now instead of waiting until like episode 5 or 6 to bring them up again? I think it's good to bring it up right now. Obviously, seeing the new Supergirl suit was cool. I'm not too red hot about the new like Obsidian tech thing, but it might grow on me. So that's like a thing to just wait and see how it plays out. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on the video to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below. What did you think of the episode? What would you give it out of 10? What was your favorite part? Let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.